Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are congratulating all the newly appointed occupational therapists. Well done, well done. Welcome to the land of all things beautiful. This is going to be a very interesting year for you, and please make sure that you enjoy. This is the year where we get paid the most as well if you're going into CommServe. So spend your money wisely. Okay, so I have advice for you if you are a newly qualified occupational therapist, and this video is going to be about helping you kind of prepare for the year ahead as a working OT. Okay, so my first advice is please keep your books. Like, I still have my books and I still ask my friends to borrow me some textbooks if I don't necessarily know a condition, or if there's some things that I still want to read about. It's important for you, just for yourself, to just stay, a little bit clued up about what you do in occupational therapy. The work system is not as intense in terms, it's intense, but it's not as intense in terms of knowledge. So you kind of are now in the forefront of keeping your knowledge alive. That means you need to be reading up when a patient comes to you and says, here's my child, they have Danny Walker syndrome. And you're like, so it's quite important for you to make sure that you are still reading up on a few conditions, and if a client comes, you're reading up in terms of just being able to help them to the best of your ability. So don't be shy. Keep all of your varsity books. I kept all of my varsity books. Some of them are still home, but I've kind of brought most of my books that I need just to kind of remind me about occupational therapy, because you're not studying as much. So it would be to your assistance to just keep a textbook or two to kind of help you with certain things that you might need help with. My advice again is, I know that the whole system in terms of how we choose CommServe has really changed from the time that I qualified. I qualified in 2015, and we could choose within the region, all our hospitals in Gauteng. So although I didn't get placed where I wanted to be, I wasn't far away from home. So for me, I didn't personally want to be too far away from home. If you are Miss Independent and you want to go far away from home, that's amazing for you. But if you want to stay close to home, I would advise that you stay at home, because too much of a change sometimes can be a little bit too much. Whereas you have a new job, you're moving to a new city. But I mean, I think, that's the point of life. Maybe I was a little bit too sheltered, and that's why I didn't want to be too far away from home. But I wanted to be able to go to my mom at a drop of a hat, because she's just my safety net, even though we have our problems, but it's just nice to be around familiar settings. But now thinking about it, actually, if you want to fly, okay? But I did stay within the regions of Gauteng, and I didn't go very far, but we still had that option. But if you do get placed somewhere that's very far, explore the town that you're in. Don't stay at home and just go to work and come back, and explore the town that you're in. Make 1 or 2 friends, not too much, just so that you get to not be lonely and not miss home too much. and yeah, enjoy it. Of course, in CommServe we get paid the most, and my advice for you is to just start saving. As soon as you get your salary, just have a plan in terms of, okay, fine, now I have this lump sum in my bank. It doesn't mean that you need to spend it. Like, you don't have to spend it. Like, it can just sit there and decorate and you can look at it for a while, but eventually you're gonna have to find a plan for your money. So I would definitely suggest that you get a financial coach that's going to help you with your financial goals, and spoil yourself, okay? Spoil yourself, and don't get too many expenses that are going to just take the fun out of working now, you know. And do the things that you always dreamed to do of. If you want to travel, and that's why I'm saying, like, don't move too far away from home, so that you can, you know, save some money so that you can take your first international trip or whatever it is. But unfortunately for us in CommServe, you can't take December off because you're CommServe. So maybe you can move your trip to early in the following year after you've started your job, but be mindful of your spending, be mindful of not wasting your money, because that's when we get paid the most. Unless you are in medical legal. When you're in medical legal, it's not really the same as working in government. So if you do CommServe and then after that you go into medical legal, you'll probably still be earning more or less the same, which means you can travel sooner. But if you're mindful of your expenses and spoil yourself, if I haven't mentioned that, like, one last time, spoil yourself. Find something that you're going to love about your job. Find something that's going to keep you interested. Find something that's going to keep you in love with occupational therapy. Sometimes when you go out into the working world and you find older therapists who are more complacent and are more comfortable with where they are, they can a little bit, not too much, they can just kill your ambition sometimes. So find something that's going to keep you energized. I remember in CommServe, I just started a project. It wasn't really a requirement for me, but I thought, why not? And I used to go screen the 6-week babies. I just used to screen all of them with the audiologist. She used to, obviously she had to screen, so I'd just go with her and would screen all the babies that would come for their 6 weeks injection. And it was just the most fulfilling thing that I found to do in CommServe. So find something that is going to keep the energy and keep your ambition and keep your drive alive. If you are in a setting where you're kind of a little bit more flexible and it's not as busy, make sure that you're filling your time with something that is nice and enjoyable and that is still within occupational therapy when you're at work. So you are newly qualified and you don't know which placement they're going to put you in, especially because our system has changed from what I understand. You've chosen a place, and I think right now you kind of know where you're going. Don't stay in one field. Like, I don't know if they still do the whole rotation thing in hospital where you get an experience in psych and you get experience in peds and you get experience in physical. Don't stay in one field. Make sure that you are getting experience everywhere else. I think that's my greatest regrets. Not because of that, but because for my CommServe, I went to a clinic. Yes, there were new things walking in on a daily basis, but it was also still quite limited. if I worked at a hospital, I think I would have wanted to do a little bit of hands, a little bit of physical, a little bit of psych, a little bit of peds, so that I can have that holisticness, so that when I'm out of community service, I kind of know which field I want to be in. And if you go into a field that you're familiar with, it makes it a little bit better for you to adapt and adjust and kind of know how things are going. It will make you feel a little bit comfortable when you're going into a field that you have experience in. It makes the transition very easy for you because you have experience in it, and you know what is expected of you, and you know what you need to do. Another thing that can help you a lot is finding mentorship. I am a mentor, and I unfortunately could never get somebody who would avail themselves. Everybody was just very busy, and it's fine. I had to just make do with the knowledge that I had. And sometimes in terms of the supervision that you're given, if you want to really come out of community service like really informed and knowing what to do, make sure that your supervisors are actually helping you and that they are actually supervising you, because you can get to a place where supervisors actually are not as involved. And if you feel like your supervisor is not involved, please make sure that you communicate to the relevant people, because it takes away from your growth as a therapist. So be very, very selfish about when you are in the workplace. It is about you being there to get all the skills that you need, so that if you want to go independent, you are fully equipped with the knowledge that you want. So don't be shy like I was. I was very shy to actually be upfront with my supervisors that, look, I don't feel like you are giving me the proper supervision. And also having not found a mentor to help me with just growing in the profession, it put all the onus on me, and I do think that I am a better OT because of that. But it is nice to have experience from other people for them to show you how they did it or how they do it. It really, really does help. But if you don't get a mentor, it's not the end of the world. You still are capable. You are still capable to make radical changes in your department or with your clients or with yourself. So it will just make you a better therapist if you have to learn everything by yourself. But it would be very important, and it would be very helpful for you to find a mentor and make sure that your supervisors are supervising you properly, and they are helping you and they are equipping you to get all the skills that you need before you go out into the world where you are now not being supervised, and you become more confident of your therapist skills and your therapy skills. Please make sure that you are doing your courses for your CPD point. Don't just sit and not do your courses. They also kind of just keep you informed and keep you in the loop about what's changing or what's happening in occupational therapy. So make sure that you're doing your courses and accumulating the CPD points that you need, and make sure that you're also reading up a lot of policies, like hospital policies and Batubili principles and things like that you need to know, so that you are able and you are equipped when it's time for you to go to a job interview when you finish with your community service. So make sure you're reading policies, make sure you are reading things that are important, that are going to help you with your interview when you are finished with community service. Make sure that you also insist on getting in-service training, where you guys are literally just conducting your own training, going through policies, going through articles, making sure that you're keeping on top of the knowledge in terms of occupational therapy, and so that you are like well informed and you are developing yourself professionally, and you're developing yourself to be an independent thinker and a critical thinker at that. So it would be very beneficial for you guys to do in-service training with the other therapists that are there, to kind of keep you informed and on top of your knowledge in terms of growing as an occupational therapist, and also in preparing you for interviews going forward. Another thing that can help you is also just trying to not really make friends, but I mean, like, if you are in a clinic setting, make sure you introduce yourself to the psychologist and the other multidisciplinary team that is not within the allied discipline, like your physios and your speech. Make sure that you are reaching out to psychologists and making sure that the doctors know you, and making sure that you're able to go there for referrals, and building an ability to communicate with the other multidisciplinary team, so that when you do have a case and a doctor's input is needed, they're not surprised, especially if there would be a crisis that, I mean, who is this? I remember when I was in community service, I had a really hectic incident when a psych patient that I was treating was given too much medication. They were being overdosed, and I had introduced myself to the doctors and made sure that we kept on communicating, so that when I saw that the client is declining, I knew exactly who to go to make sure that my client is getting the best help possible, and making sure that the whole team really just knows you and knows that you have something to say, and knows that you have something of value to bring to the table. So don't stay in your little corner and just be there as an OT. You are a very important member in the team, so make sure that your voice is also heard when it comes to dealing with what you specialize in, which is your clients that need some type of advocacy when it comes to not being able to stand up for themselves. And that patient did unfortunately pass away because the damage was just so big, and it wasn't a good thing. But if I hadn't really noticed that something was wrong and hadn't spoken up, I think things would have been worse. But because you're there to advocate for clients, make sure that you are being heard, and be respectful to everybody else that is around you, but make sure that you are literally working within a team, because your voice is important. And with having said that, I wish you all the best on your community service here, and enjoy it. Don't waste your money, and remember to have fun, and remember that you are qualified and you know what you're doing. So have confidence in yourself, and you have been prepared for the world, and you can achieve great things. Don't let your ambition just get sucked away. Keep on fighting the good fight, and hopefully you will open up your own practice and employ a lot of other OTs. And yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.